you're watching the World Cup and good games, and there's a lot to enjoy from the play style of the different teams and the surprises that this World Cup has produced. But there's also one thing that seems to color most major sporting events, which is people from other countries, not necessarily other countries, people from particular organizations coming to use the event sort of as a platform to like promote their ideologies and their agendas for the human population. And oftentimes, I find in my experience that the ideas that some of these people are promoting, so be it um, climate change agenda, be it homosexuality agenda, be it transgender agenda, be it women's rights issues, be it workers' issues. Some of them are legitimate, but oftentimes I find it's usually people trying to impose on a sovereign nation what is it life is supposed to be like, and how these people are supposed to change the aspects of who they are to become what other people want them to be. I don't know if this is what you have noticed in the Qatar World Cup. There was news of the lack of gay rights in Qatar and in the Muslim world in general. There was news of lack of transgender rights in this nation. There was news of um, abuse of migrant workers. There was news of I already said female rights too, if I didn't say that before. Did you see any of those?
I mean, if you didn't see, then you probably have not been watching the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
I know from the very start when Qatar even got the bid, won the
nomination.
bid
Yeah.
to host,
Yeah.
all this craziness started. I get a feeling that some countries in the West felt like they had a right
Yeah.
to be the only countries hosting. And so when a country like Qatar, which is a Muslim country, which is probably a country the West would not consider as equal to them,
Right.
when they won the bid to host, well, of course, trouble started. Yes, it's true that there were labor issues when they were constructing the stadiums and building the infrastructure for the World Cup. Yes, it is true. But where in the world are there no labor issues?
Doesn't that happen
first of all?
everywhere in the world?
Exactly my point. Where in the world would you say there are no labor issues happening?
Yeah.
We see governments fighting with labor unions because either the work conditions are terrible or either the pay isn't good enough. It happens even here in Canada. It happens even here in Alberta.
Yeah, it does.
With the Alberta and government fighting with nurses and teachers and all over the place.
Yeah.
It happens. So there are labor issues everywhere. But I think to
make it sound like it
was a Qatari issue is very, very, very unfair. I heard someone say that Qatar was even open to allow migrants to come in and work and earn some money.
Yeah.
Compared to some countries in the West where they would not even give you an opportunity to come in to work, right? So you see a little bit of hypocrisy in all this. Yeah, we can have labor issues, but Qatar can't. All right? Or you see a situation where they are like, oh, there are not enough gay rights here, whatever the case may be. And then Qatari, they are saying, we are inviting everyone to come and enjoy the World Cup, right?
But you just can't sleep with somebody you're not married to.
Yeah, but all you need to do is respect the cultures and the traditions and the laws of this country. And the law says that no public affection. It doesn't matter if public affection was between
husband and wife,
heterosexual or homosexuals. No, they said no public, no show of public affections, no holding hands, no kissing in public. They didn't say only gay people can't kiss in public. They said no one. So even if it was a man and a woman, it's still not allowed, right? So it's like, come to our country, enjoy the infrastructure, enjoy the games, but respect the traditions
of the culture
and the culture of the people of Qatar, which I think makes a lot of sense.
To play devil's advocate for a little bit, some people say this is an international event and it's welcoming people from all over the world. So the Qatar government has to be more welcoming to ideas from all over the world. What do you say to that?
So you want to bring your ideas and impose it on them for the 2-3 weeks period that you're there, right? So when you leave, what happens to those ideas that you've imposed on these people? You get the point I'm trying to make. Why can't you leave your ideas and your own culture back where you're coming from and just participate in the game and watch the game like every other person?
And that speaks to the point that people has really made this more political than it's really about soccer. It's for fans to come and enjoy the game of soccer, and not coming to be pushing a particular agenda, whether it's transgender agenda, whether it's feminism agenda, whether it's whatever agenda they're trying to push. Can we just enjoy the game for a moment? That's really why we're here. And everything has to be so political. It's so frustrating.
I think recently it's hard to find anything where people are not pushing politics. Take sports. The past couple of years, sports, people have tried to bring politics in sports. It doesn't matter if it's football. Like you get Russia being banned from participating in any sporting events, right? It's like sports. It has nothing to do with the war that's happened, the issues that is happening between Russia and Ukraine. It has nothing to do. But people will find a way to connect sports and politics. Same thing here in Qatar. Football has nothing to do with gender rights or whatever, or labor. It has nothing
gender
to do.
Pay gap issues, blah blah blah.
But of course, people want to make it all about that, just to spite the game, right? They want to create a situation where at the end of the World Cup, people will be like, "Oh no, that was a very terrible. The host was terrible."
Exactly.
Right. That's what they're wanting to. Yeah. But no, they have been. I think they have been great. And just like they said, yes, they were labor. There are labor issues. There are labor issues everywhere.
There is labor issues.
We have come a long way since we started planning for the World Cup.
Yeah.
They admit that there've been issues.
Yeah.
But they also say that we have come a long way, and there are many international organizations who have corroborated and who have said
in this affair their focus is profit, and they have been part of the team that is providing the harsh conditions for these laborers. I think the core of the issue is some people thinking that their way of life is superior to another person's way of life, and for that person to grow, to advance, to become more modern, they have to adopt the way of the life that these people are trying to push. And usually it's a fraction of many people from the West, people who usually have an agenda. They use the World Cup to push gender pay gap. Oh, women have to be paid the same as men. Blah, blah, blah.
It's a World Cup. It's football. It has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, we're not pushing an agenda here. We're just here to enjoy the game. And frankly, it takes away the joy from what really brought the people and the fans there.
Because it puts the focus on other things. Yeah. Like I hear teams wanted to put on the what they call the
LGBTQ cause.
Right.
And Qatar was like, no, we're not. And I was really proud of Qatar telling them, like, no, we're not happening. It's not happening here.
You can't do that here. Go do that wherever you want to do it, but not here in Qatar.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of pushback. And I think FIFA too was caught in the middle.
Yeah. What did you think of the president, FIFA's president?
I think he handled. I
also
watched the press conference.
Yeah.
I think he handled it pretty well. I think Europe and the West don't have any moral authority to lecture people on morality for any reason. I believe I buy what he said.
Yeah.
And again, he explained Qatar is allowing for migrant workers to come here and work.
Yeah.
You are sending people back. People try to get to Europe in little boats.
Yeah. And you send them
back.
You're
sending them back in that same.
To be fair, you have the right to send them back, but you cannot point a finger at another nation and say, no, this is what they have to do.
While you're doing
that's not fair. Do your thing and let others do. Leave and let live.
I think I liked how he handled that press conference. I'm sure many people in the West were not happy.
Yeah.
But I think he handled that pretty well, and he kind of spoke the truth. Sometimes, you know, truths are difficult and hard to hear, but someone needs to tell people what the truth is, right? I mean, if you look at Quebec, for example, where they are banning headscarf because they
believe,
people are claiming that Muslims are pushing their tradition on them.
Yeah.
So for that reason, they are putting laws in place to prevent that from happening. And then they turn around and want to impose on the Qatari how their laws and how their traditions and how their court, like who gives you the right
the
to
moral
do that?
superiority complex. It's absurd.